The Holocaust, 1941–1945. The Holocaust, or the Shoah, stands as a profound tragedy in world history, where 6 million Jewish men, women, and children were systematically murdered by the Nazi regime during World War II. Millions of others, Romani people, disabled individuals, Poles, Soviet prisoners of war, LGBTQ+ individuals, and political opponents also became victims of one of humanity's darkest chapters. The Holocaust represents the depths of human cruelty, but also highlights the resilience of the human spirit, evident in acts of courage amidst oppression. For students and educators, the Holocaust serves both as an essential subject of historical study and a call to actively preserve the memories of those who suffered. It is a mirror reflecting the dangers of unchecked hatred, discrimination, and totalitarian authority. By understanding this tragic history, future generations can be inspired to build a more compassionate world where everyone is treated with dignity. The origins of the Holocaust emerge from the devastation following World War I. Germany was left broken, economically crippled, politically unstable, and humiliated by the Treaty of Versailles. These circumstances created fertile ground for extremism. Rise of the Nazi Party. Adolf Hitler's leadership capitalized on German resentment. His promises to restore national pride and economic stability won him support. However, Hitler's ideology centered dangerously on antisemitism, framing Jews as the scapegoats for Germany's struggles. Upon seizing power in 1933, Hitler and the Nazis turned this hatred into law, stripping Jews of their civil rights and systematically isolating them from society. Anti-Semitic policies. Beginning with the Nuremberg Laws of 1935, Jews in Germany were reduced to second-class status. Propaganda further entrenched discriminatory attitudes, portraying the Jewish population as enemies of the state. These ideas were not just contained in Germany. They spread across Nazi-occupied regions, fostering violence and prejudice on an unprecedented scale. The persecution of Jews and other groups moved from systemic discrimination to overt violence as the Nazis anchored their grip on power. A significant turning point in this escalation occurred with Kristallnacht in 1938. Kristallnacht, the Night of Broken Glass. This state-organized pogrom saw synagogues burned, businesses looted, and Jewish homes ransacked. Arrests and deportations followed for around 30,000 Jewish men. The message was clear. Life as Jews once knew it was no longer possible. Ghettos and forced relocation. After Germany invaded Poland in 1939, Jews were confined to ghettos under appalling conditions. In cities like Warsaw and Łódź, families were crammed into overcrowded spaces lacking basic necessities. Thousands succumbed to starvation or disease as the Nazis stripped them of their humanity. The Nazis' atrocities culminated in the final solution, a plan to obliterate the entire European Jewish population. Wannsee Conference. In January 1942, senior Nazi officials met near Berlin to formalize the mass extermination agenda. Their goal was chillingly efficient: genocide. Concentration and extermination camps. Facilities like Auschwitz-Birkenau and Treblinka became centers of mass murder. Many victims, including children, were sent to gas chambers immediately upon arrival. Others faced grotesque medical experiments or endured forced labor until death claimed them. Killing methods. Einsatzgruppen, mobile killing squads, operated in Eastern Europe, conducting mass shootings of Jews in open fields and ravines. Gas chambers and crematoria, however, became the Nazis' method of choice for extermination, eliminating thousands of lives a day. For educators, teaching about these methods of murder not only emphasizes the monstrous efficiency of the Holocaust, but also urges students to question the systems and individuals that carried out such atrocities. The Holocaust sought to extinguish entire populations, beginning with Europe's Jewish community. Jewish victims. 6 million Jews, including entire families and communities, were murdered. Beyond the horrifying statistics lie the stories of real people, artists, scholars, doctors, and farmers, whose lives were extinguished, leaving a void in humanity's cultural and intellectual fabric. Other groups targeted: Romani people, disabled individuals, dissenters, LGBTQ+ individuals, and Jehovah's Witnesses, among others, also became victims. For example, the T4 euthanasia program targeted disabled people under the guise of mercy killing, revealing the Nazis' distorted view of human life. Encouraging students to explore the diversity of those persecuted highlights the broader human cost of this tragedy, urging empathy and understanding. Against overwhelming odds, acts of resistance arose during the Holocaust. Jewish resistance. In the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising of 1943, Jewish fighters staged a remarkable stand against Nazi forces, refusing to accept deportation without a fight. Many also joined underground movements or partisan factions, sabotaging Nazi efforts. Righteous among the nations. Courageous individuals like Oskar Schindler, Raoul Wallenberg, and Irina Sendler defied Nazi law to save thousands of lives. Their actions demonstrate the importance of morality, even in the face of immense risk. For students, studying these stories can inspire a personal commitment to stand against injustice in their own lives. The liberation of Nazi camps by Allied forces brought the horrors of the Holocaust into plain view. Discovery of camps. As Allied troops advanced into Nazi-occupied territories, they encountered the concentration and extermination camps. Emaciated survivors, mass graves, and abandoned gas chambers revealed the scale of the atrocities. Death marches. As the Nazi regime collapsed, the SS forced prisoners on death marches, attempting to hide the evidence. Thousands perished during these harrowing treks, marking the Holocaust's final chapter. The Holocaust's aftermath reshaped the world. Survivors, while freed, faced new challenges in rebuilding their lives amidst overwhelming loss. Nuremberg trials. Leading Nazis were prosecuted for crimes against humanity, serving as a cornerstone for modern international law. However, many perpetrators evaded justice, a grim reminder of the limits of accountability. Impact on survivors. Survivors grappled with deep trauma. Many discovered they were the sole remaining members of their families. Displaced persons camps provided temporary refuge, but the quest for a new home and the haunting memories of the Holocaust lingered. Global response. The Holocaust spurred the creation of the United Nations Genocide Convention in 1948, a global effort to prevent such crimes in the future. As educators, conveying this legacy reinforces the importance of human rights protection in preventing history from repeating itself. The Holocaust's lessons endure today through efforts to preserve its memory and educate future generations. Memorials and museums. Institutions like Yad Vashem and the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum play a vital role in conserving the stories of victims and fostering learning about tolerance. These spaces are not only historical archives, but also calls to action against hatred and discrimination. Never again. The Holocaust serves as a powerful warning of the dangers of prejudice and unchecked authority. Yet, continuing instances of genocide in Rwanda, Bosnia, and Darfur remind us that vigilance is essential. For educators and students, the phrase "never again" is both a promise and a challenge. How can we ensure these words resonate in a world still grappling with intolerance and violence? Call to action for students and educators. As we reflect on the Holocaust, let its lessons ignite a commitment to study history, not just for academic purposes, but as a moral guide. Engage with survivors' stories, visit memorials, and hold conversations about tolerance and justice. By preserving memory, you empower the future, transforming never again into a lasting reality. Let us honor the victims by ensuring their stories illuminate pathways to a world built on compassion, dignity, and peace. Together, as students, educators, and global citizens, we can uphold this shared commitment and make a difference.